Okay, let me bring in Vic. Vic, your ethnic background, please, and where you're based.
Okay.
Guys, let's tap up the screen, please. Let's
Yeah.
get this to 250 and send me nice things. I like to see it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm Nigerian, and
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't like regarding myself as Nigerian. I'm Igbo,
Cool.
and I'm based in the UK.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason why I said I'm Igbo before Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will put proper perspective into this discourse. If you have an ancient map, of Africa, actually, Kemet, if you have an ancient map and you go towards the West African side, it was called, the Atlantic Ocean at that place was called the Bight of Biafra. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to go into that historical perspective. I want to go straight to the point in terms of the reparations from Ghana and how it relates to Nigeria and typically my tribe, Igbo. So basically, if you look at in Nigeria, there's an empire that was there at the time called the Ancient Benin Empire. The Benin Empire were dealing with the Portuguese because the Portuguese were one of the first people to come into West Africa for trade. And in a bid to get trade, they got slaves. So that's why you have situations in a place called Cabo Verde. You have a mixture of
Portuguese and
African, over there. So the Portuguese, what they did was they gave guns to, at that time, the empire called the Benin Empire. They gave them guns. That's a superior weapon to go in and invade the other guy's hinterland, which is the Igbos. So that's why if you do a DNA test, in as much as most Jamaicans do not agree with this, but if you do a DNA test of most Jamaicans, they would actually see that most of their DNA actually, contrary to popular opinion that they come from Ghana, which is actually wrong, they actually come from the Bight of Biafra. That's where the Bight of Biafra, which is Igbo area in Nigeria, contrary to popular opinion that most of the people, I don't want to use the word slaves, but I'll use captured people. They come from Ghana.
So why is it that you not have the belief that many come from Ghana, but rather come from
Islam, by the way,
of Nigeria and not parts of Central Africa as well, even though many.
No. Get my point. No. Of course, there are other people that came from other parts of Africa, but I'm saying the majority came from a certain part. Of course, they're always going to come from the Mandinka.
How do you know that if you don't know their DNA?
No, because there are historical records of the slaves that were taken from a particular area in Africa and where they were sent to. There are historical records of that because, the white man kept those records. So that's why I'm saying this is it. This is what happened. For example, in Brazil, Brazil and Cuba, majority of the captured people usually come from the Yoruba tribe, Benin Republic. That's where they went to. Or in America, the guys in Mississippi came from, I'm sure you heard the Beyonce music where she talked about Igbo landing. It came from there. But let me not go through the whole perspective.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to say exactly is this. I know most of the people in the Western Hemisphere that are Black people, they have these issues with Africans, especially West Africans, in terms of, your forefathers sold me and stuff, and you guys are traders. But to be fair, the majority of people in Africa, their ancestors were not even complicit in this.
Igbo
They were
people
not
sold
actually
slaves.
complicit in this. It's the hierarchy. It's the kingship that we're doing all this capturing people and saying. So from my point of view is what Ghana is doing is correct. However, maybe they should have had a better dialogue with the people, the victims themselves, which is the Caribbeans, Africa, South America, the Americans, and have that understanding and like, okay, what do you need? And because I feel Ghana is trying, yes, they're doing the right way, but I think it's more about them than the victims itself. That's my perspective. Thank you.
Yeah, host, can I? Is it okay if I can speak for a second?
Yeah, you can respond. Go ahead.
No, I was actually going to say something very similar to what he was saying. When people look at the history of the slave trade, many people look at it on a very hard black and white line, and it really was very complex because there were, as he mentioned, there were many kingships in Africa who were complacent in the selling of people, but most people by large were not traders. They were regular people who had family members ruptured from them and taken off into the slavery as well. And at the time, Africans also didn't see each other as like one people as they do like in the modern nation state sense. They were various tribes and kingdoms, and they warred with other tribes and factions as well. So it's very complex. Like there's a lot of nuance that proceeds with it. But my thing is that like a lot of these guys too, like who talk about like this, like they don't even believe that they're of African descent. They think they're American Indians. So what does this pertain to them anyway?
So anyway,
I say the same thing.
Can I respond to Vic, please?
Who's that? You, Kendaki?
Yeah.
You wanted to respond to Vic?
Yeah. I want to ask him a question.
Okay, you can respond to Vic and then it's Serena, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, Vic.
I'm just going to drop you and let someone up, all right? Thanks for coming up, darling. You can try and come up in a bit if you need to, all right? Speak to you in a bit. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Kendaki. You can ask the question.
Okay, Vic, do you know your people, like the Igbo people, like they were largely complicit in slave trade? So you're trying to like blame like the Yoruba people and the Edo people for the Bite of Biafra. The Benin people didn't even control the Bite of Biafra, so that's a lie. Yeah.
I could bring a historical perspective of how the Benin people, they even have a term in Benin language, what they call other people slaves.
They didn't control the Bite of Biafra though. They controlled the Bite of mostly Benin.
It was the Benin Empire. That's why it's called. It went from the the eastern part of the River Niger, as far as Dahomey.
The south and western part of Nigeria, not the south and eastern part of Nigeria, which would be the Igbo territory. Are you lying?
No, it went. Please, I mean, you can actually check this. The Benin Empire stretched.
That's why he's saying it.
And I'm saying that I do not think what you've said is actually correct, because I mean, I virtually grew up in Benin, in Edo State, and I know this record, and they even brag about it, that our empire, that's the Benin Empire, is stretched from the eastern part of the River Niger all through to Benin Republic. That's
not true. The Bite of Biafra and the Bite of Benin are in two different places.
No, we're talking about the Benin Empire. That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about that Bite of Biafra, the Atlantic.
Yeah, and the Igbo people had their own empire called the Arrow Confederacy, and they sold a lot of Igbo people into slavery. They sold their own Igbo people into slavery.
Now, let me explain what that means. Now, in Igbo culture at that time...
Christ.
Can I say something?
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so the Arrow Confederacy, you're correct on that. However, it was not slavery, as it were, in terms of selling their own people into slavery.
Their own caste system.
I'll explain how. For example, there's a place called Opobo in Nigeria, and there's a man called Jaja of Opobo. He was sold to, there's a people called the Ijo people. He was sold to them, more like it was not slavery, as it were, in terms of how the transatlantic slavery, where they dehumanize you. He became even a king, the person that was sold, called, you can research about Jaja of Opobo. He became a king. So the slavery that you guys refer to, transatlantic or trans-Saharan slavery, is quite different.
You gaslighting.
No, I'm not gaslighting. I'm telling you.
Well, gaslighting.
Oh, okay, I mean, I can't argue with you on that. If that's
Igbo people had like one of the worst slave systems in Africa. Like, they had like a caste system called the Osu, where they would sacrifice a whole entire people just for their gods. So the whole bloodline would just be
that means you don't even know about the Osu. That means you don't even know about it.
That's a fact.
The Osu,
you can search this Osu
system
as an Oscar Sierra uniform. And basically they'll just kill a whole bloodline of people. So if you was born Osu, your children are born Osu, and they would just be sacrificed to their gods. So what he's trying to say is a flipping lie.
What's the name of this tribe? So I can Google it.
Igbo, IGBO.
Yeah, IGBO.
Now what's interesting,
India, Golf, Bravo, Oscar.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, I wasn't.
India, Golf, Bravo, Oscar, Igbo. And search their caste system.
Oh, Igbo.
Yes, they had like a serious caste system, like where they would just sacrifice a whole bloodline.
Nah, that's a lie. That's not true.
For the Osu system. That is a fact.
Osu.
Yeah.
That's not actually true though. But anyway.
That is true.
How was that? Is that OSU or OSU?
Yeah, OSU.
The Osu system is people that have done wrong within the community.
No, they were basically a cursed lineage, right? A cursed lineage. They would just sacrifice people to their god. And they had like the other side, which is the Ohu. But what he's saying is lies, bro. He's trying to like blame like the Edo people, like try to scapegoat people. It's flipping lies, bro. And he's trying to take them for idiots.
Guys, this is news BBC. This is BBC. It actually came up straight away. I'm not joking. Okay, right. The BBC article is called "The Story of Nigeria's Untouchables." This is the name of the article. It was written by Andrew Walker, BBC News, Enugu, Nigeria. It says people say the Osu are the descendants of people sacrificed to the gods hundreds of years ago. An academic who's researched Igbo tradition says he believes the Osu were actually a kind of...
You might fall.
Can everyone go on mute? I can hear a cute baby, but a baby nonetheless. So yeah, it says that an academic who researched the Igbo tradition says he believes the Osu were actually a kind of living sacrifice to the gods for the community. And then he's quoted to say, I remember when I was a child seeing the Osu and running away. Oh shit. That was Professor Ben Obumselu, former vice president of the influential Igbo organization Ohanizi in the Igbo. They were banned from all forms of civil society, had no lands, lived in the shrine of the gods, and if they could, would farm the land next to the road. It was believed that they had been dedicated to the gods, that they belonged to them rather than the world of the human. Interesting. It's a very long article, guys, by the way.
Ritual out here.
Still saying that Candy's lying. Candace's lying.
I said I wouldn't even believe something coming from the BBC because, of course, I know what the colonizers do.
Can't believe it from the BBC.
No, I'm not gonna.
If you call someone an Osu in Igbo culture, like it's still an offensive thing today. So don't.
And I'm trying to explain to you what Osu is, but you didn't let me land.
Today.
You didn't let me. I was trying to explain what it is.
No one wants to explain about your desensitization.
You can explain it. It's fine.
Okay.
You can explain.
Desensitized.
Okay.
They are desensitized to the concept of enslaving people.
Sorry, say that again.
I said, when I speak to you Africans, yeah, you're very desensitized when you're speaking about the topic of slavery. You very much talk about it like, oh, well, it wasn't that type of slavery, or it wasn't this type of slavery, or it wasn't that.
I'm gonna let everyone know what your ethnic background is and where you're based.
I'm West Indian, Caribbean, Jamaican. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to 300,000 likes, guys. 300,000.
I just genuinely don't find West Africans specifically a safe space when we're making inquiries about bridging the gap between the Anansi story of the slavery narrative, or just talking about, politics and geopolitics in general when we're speaking to you guys. Like, she talked to you're desensitizing what Kantaki said. You then invalidated the source to desensitize the harshness of the Asawi tribe, of what Coley just read out. Yeah, go out there and be quiet a sec. Yeah, like, I just genuinely find it very difficult to communicate, and you're making me really, really want to separate from you guys. I think our people have been subjugated to promoting Africanness. You paint the YT people with your brush, actually. And I think that there's something underlying about Africans, specifically West Africans, because I don't get the same tone from South Africans.
No, maybe
that I'm finding very, very dangerous. I'm finding it very, very dangerous. And even in regards to just going back to the reparations, Ghana's doing what they were doing in 1846. They're doing exactly the same thing that they did in 1844, where they signed a bond to accept British protection. Yeah. They signed a bond, and they fought amongst each other, and the Ashanti tribe, in specifically the Ashanti Kingdom, they fought with their chiefs so that they could exchange with the British for protection. So my thing is, the whole going up into the UN with CARICOM was a smokescreen to actually renew that bond, because they've then got surveillance and drones and stuff from Europe to go and spy on Burkina Faso. So what I'm saying to you lot is, you see, when you're in the West, don't bring your little tribal, weird, wanting protection nonsense over here. Don't bring your little funny religions and all kinds of stuff over here. If you want to survive, take on our way of life. I don't care if you want to call it ratchet, ghetto, or whatever the hell you want to call it, yeah? Take on our way of life, or go back to wherever you came from.
Let me come
You understand what? We don't care about your different layers of snow. Shut up a minute, right?
Sorry,
I don't care about your different. I don't care about your different layers. Yes, I do. Yeah, I don't have no shame. I have no shame.
Hold on, fact check. So the Bond of 1844 was a treaty signed in 1844 between the Fanti chiefs and the British colonial administration to allow British control over their territories and protect their trade routes. The bond also paved the way for the establishment of the British colony in the southern part of the then Golden Coast. That's taken from modernghana.com news.
Right. So when you're sitting there acting like you're some kind of victim, and people all ran up in your place and started taking people and ran up in your place and cut it, you made an agreement. You guys need to talk about what you're talking about properly.
I would ignore your attempt at being insultive, but I'll go straight.
Well, do that then. It's called emotionally intelligence. It's called emotional intelligence.
I would ignore it because I don't even know you.
Do that.
And I wouldn't want to be unnecessarily insultive. I was thinking this platform was to just have like an intellectual debate and know stuff. I mean, obviously you can debunk anything I've said, and I will learn. And also, but I just saw the energy coming from you, and
you know what, Vic?
A group of
do you know what, Vic? I'm just going to say this straight.
I hate this, but it's not like your opinion really matters in the scheme of things. No, it doesn't matter. The point
I don't have an opinion. I'm stating facts, and I was very honest about the fact that you guys
aggressive tendencies tells me a lot about your personality. It tells me who
my
you
personality
are.
is very good at setting boundaries.
Let me go back to the issue. Let me go back to the issue instead of. There's a book called
What's the issue?
Written by Olukwa. If you could just keep your mouth shut a bit, then you'll learn.
Oh, now you're telling me to shut up.
Yeah, just keep your mouth shut a bit. When you keep talking, you're kind of embarrassing your brain in publicly. But let me keep talking.
Say what you're saying.
Like I said, you just need to keep your mouth or zip it up. You're right about the Osu. Sorry, Koli, you mentioned something about the Osu. The Osu is a system at the time within the Igbo culture. When some people have done certain things wrong within the community, when I mean certain things wrong, very grievous offense, they either send them to the evil forest or they take them, that's at the time, they send them to the evil forest because
evil forest?
Yes, in Nigeria there's all called an evil forest.
See what I'm saying about these people?
Yeah, they send them. Now, I'm not saying whether it is right or wrong, but I'm telling you the culture at the time. So when this other hateful person says I'm talking nonsense, I'm just giving historical perspective on things. I did not create it.
What time?
I did not.
The also system was a caste system. So if your mom was,
are you listening to respond? Are you listening to respond?
Hold on. Let him explain it. Go on. Sorry, Vic. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the point exactly is the Osu system, according to the Igbo tradition at the time, was when somebody has done something very grievous in the community, the person is ostracized. So some of the people, they send them to the evil forest at the time, or they dedicate them to the gods. When they mean dedicate them to the gods, they are going to be serving in the like a chief priest or something, some religious nonsense. They send them there. Like this is what they've ostracize them from the normal society because of a crime that has been committed. This is how things are done at the time in the Osu system. So I'm trying to explain that perspective.
That's the point that we're making, though, Vic.
That's what I'm trying to. That's the perspective.
It still exists today.
Vic, you've explained it.
Actually, it doesn't exist today because there's a Supreme Court. Well, I don't know when last you've lived in Igbo land. So for you to say it still exists, and like I said, the two of you are coming here with hate. You hate a lot of West African.
I do. Vic.
Yeah, you came here lying, bro. You tried to say that Benin Kingdom like was doing the slavery, like your people.
You're mad.
So you came here.
Everyone, calm down,
guys.
Everyone, let's calm down. Let's just let Vic say what he's gonna say. Okay?
No.
He said what he has to say already,
Kate. He said enough.
I thought I just said that there's so much. There's
I don't have any hate for anyone.
There's just bitterness.
I don't have any hate for anyone.
I don't like people who harm people.
I don't have any hate for anyone. I'm not bitter with anyone.
Let me say this.
I don't have any hate for you.
I get
Sabrina, and then I'm gonna let Vic respond. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Right. So my argument is this, Vic. You actually said nothing to make me feel safe about being around you. You've said nothing about to make me feel safe about my people being around your people. And aesthetic means absolutely jack diddly do. So from you've just explained to me about what your people used to do to each other, why would I feel comfortable around being around your people? And then when we've looked at it like what's his name? Kanti. I can't remember his name. Shush, has explained it that you're actually
why don't you go take care of your babies? Your babies are making noise. Why don't you try to water it down?
When you're trying to water it down, you've then still tried to water it down in modern times. You've not stood there and said, you know what, that was really, really bad. That's not something that we deal with right now, but this is how it goes.
Parents, you didn't listen to me when I said it was bad because you have selective hearing.
I had to check. It's still a problem.
I know, that's what I just said. He said I was a hater.
Global Forum of Communities Discriminated on Work and Dissent. That's an official website. It's called Global Forum CDWD. This is really sad, actually.
Right.
Essentially, these communities have been relegated to specific jobs, servants, to deities, waste collectors, butchers, and these roles are passed down from parent to child.
You can't marry. They can't marry as well. They can't marry with
outside of their group.
Yeah, so you telling me I'm a hater because
just
the host is looking up facts. I'm not a hater.
It's not in practice.
The host is just looking up the facts of the matter.
Hold on, let Vic respond. Let him respond. Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, just for the record, it's not in practice in Nigeria, the Osuka system, because Nigeria already has a law that is against that. So if you're going to bring up Osuka system, you can actually be jailed in Nigeria. It's not in practice.
You really think that's enforceable?
Well,
you mean legally? So you're saying basically legally it's not in fact like it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
But it probably just happens. Okay, got you. Understood.
It's not allowed. It's
like FGM.
And my point exactly is this. I'm not saying Igbos have not done some bad things. I've not said that. I'm just giving historical perspective. When I said the Benin Empire, the Portuguese, I'll give you. There's a book that maybe you can read, written by Olukwa Ekwino. He lived in the UK in the 18 or 17.
Alada Ekwano.
Alada. He was thank God you
imagine he knows the name and he doesn't.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make.
Is that the guy that was a slave?
Yes.
Yeah. He wrote his autobiography. His own people, the Igbo people, sold him into slavery.
He was kidnapped. You see why? You know what? I'm done with this argument.
He was kidnapped, but he's over.
You know what? I'm actually done. I'm done.
Wait, hold on.
Getting called out for you nonsense.
1 second.
Hold on. I'm trying to keep the little sweetness in there. See, I went to the bookshop the other day. For those of you that are into comics, like, it's such a cool place. If you're not, you probably will get into it. If you go to a comic shop, it's actually pretty cool. But anyway, I saw that book there and I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, this seems really interesting. And then I didn't read it and I put it down. But maybe I need to go back and get it.
So was that guy...
Anyway, carry on.
Was that guy enslaved in the Caribbean?
He was sold. He was kidnapped with his sister. Go and read his book. He was kidnapped with his sister in Biafra, Igbo land.
By other Igbo people, by the way.
Oh, was it?
And he
was he in the transatlantic slave trade, or was this slavery just in Africa?
Transatlantic.
He got caught.
Transatlantic slave trade. He was He actually even got married in the UK. That's what you're talking about, maybe in the 17 something or thereabouts. The point I'm trying to make to you is when you read the book, you would see where he talks about the Igbo tradition. So when Mr. Kande or whatever your name is and the hateful lady called Serena or whatever, when you come about and start insulting me and not knowing historical perspective about things, it just gets to show me how benighted you are and how, in terms of intellectually slow your brain is. I'll have to sign out.
being condescending.
I thought this was an intellectual conversation. Why did you take it there? Yeah, because he needs to go. Because one, he brought up kids, which I think is dirty. Like, you don't do that. And two, now you're just taking the piss. Like, you could have kept it intellectual if that's what you wanted to do.
And by the way, a lot of Okuana was sold by other Igbo people. So, like, he's trying to use him as, like, a source. He explicitly said in his autobiography he was sold by his Igbo people, the Arrow people, that sold him into slavery.
See, the thing about it is the host actually looked it up. I don't think he knew that the host would look into what he was saying. And once she found out that it was true.
That's what they do, man. Like, they try to scapegoat other Africans. I say, our tribe didn't do that. It was the other tribe, like,
See,
weird,
the thing is, instead of just taking accountability and saying, hey, that was wrong, that shouldn't have happened, you start getting mad and calling people names and crashing out like a kid when it's all adults up here. We can just talk to each other. You don't have to be mad and start talking about people kids and calling people hateful. That's something that still exists today in Nigeria.
What was that about kids?
No,
he was like, go take care of your kid.
And he was throwing slick shots at her kid.
He was talking to me. So because I told him to shut up, he started going off on his little Nigerian rant. I don't have time for it. Again, at the end of the day, I remember when I just want to give everybody some perspective because, you know, I was one of the people who was brought up in a Pan-African community where we were taught to promote.
It was all of us.
So
I swear to God, it was all of us.
I'm not going to pretend that, and that's where my frustration comes from, because once I started to want to bridge the gap between, you know, the slave narrative and Africa, we've got to obviously look to the Africans because they're now talking, they're now here, they're on TikTok, they're accessible. So when we want to have the conversation with the everyday African about slavery, we're coming up against these rude comments. We're coming up against this, you're not us, but then you are us in a context that we say you are us. Then, you know, there's no articulation to the bridge. And then when we've gone on the journey to look into it ourselves, there's a lot of flaws in how this came about and how it's manifested today. And it does depend on people's identity. You understand? And all I can see is that we have been indoctrinated to promote Africa and demote ourselves, you know? Whether people want to think that the descendants of Africans or not makes no difference to the fact that we are still who we are, and we are not going to keep promoting, you know, the diabolical things that they are desensitized to and want to bring into our society.
Yeah,
we have children to think about.
I just want to say that I do agree with what Serena said in terms of sometimes it does come across like, you know, like, so the other day I was on a panel actually, and yeah, I was just talking about Christianity and how bad Christianity is.
Sorry, let everyone know your ethnic background and where you're based.
Oh, yeah, I'm Jamaican. I'm from London. Yeah. Yeah, so the other day I was on a panel and I was talking about Christianity and how bad Christianity is. There was this Nigerian guy up on the panel. I guess he felt attacked. I was just saying that, yeah, you know what? Christianity doesn't actually serve us any purpose at all. And he felt so attacked by that. And I was saying some of the issues that we face in the diaspora between different groups is because of Christianity. That's a fact. Some people just believe that, oh yeah, like they're holier than other people and they don't want to associate with people that, may not be living their life. You know, I said that to him and he felt the need to attack me and call me a slave. And, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I do agree with Serena when she said, yeah, I think they want you to claim Africa, you know, but then they use that against you. They use that against you by calling you a slave. And it's just like, well, what's the point of that? So you want me to claim Africa, but then, you know, you're calling me a slave. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They get so angry when people don't claim it and say,
like,
no, you're African, this and that. But then
from a Christian perspective, like I am Christian. It's just the way it's being taught to people is just wrong. So the white Jesus and all this other stuff is nonsensical.
It's being weaponized.
And it has been weaponized. And biblical history, when you're reading it, it's not based in Europe, and it's just weird. It's weird. The people have taken it and whiteified it and made it weird, and then used it to control people with brown skin. So just a sec, Davina. So
with the slave narrative,
just a sec. So that's like one element of it, right? The other side of it, though, is what I have found. So this was probably 4 lives ago, 3 lives ago, maybe. I had people from West African backgrounds that did come on here and attempt to use Christianity to tell me to stop what I was doing, which was mad. So there were people that came on and said, no, this is sinful and it's divisive and God hates division, which it was creepy for me, because it was like, what's making you all do this on the same live though? This is weird. Ironically, the people that were doing this haven't read the Bible. I have, so I know that what they were saying was foolishness. So there is a thing of weaponizing religion, whatever it is. It does get used to silence people. It gets used in a very narcissistic way. Hence why there are cults like what Kwan mentioned earlier and stuff like that. Yeah, I get it. As far as like identity is concerned, this whole leaning into you guys aren't the same, and you're what I was told was you're our children, we're your parents, you don't have an identity, the children of slaves, right? And then when we're saying, oh, we're proud Caribbean heritage people, we're proud this, we're proud that. No, you're us. You're us. No, you shouldn't point us. You are me.
Benefit them.
Also, Coley, one thing as well, Coley. One thing as well, like one thing that I've heard from a lot of older Caribbean people, they actually say that when the Africans came to the UK, they didn't really help them when it came to just fighting for rights and stuff. You know, BLK people were treated a lot worse back then, and the Africans, they didn't really help. They would actually say, oh yeah, why can't you guys just, you know, get along? Why you guys always fighting, you know, with the YT and this and that? That's what they used to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're being lazy.
Gate watchers.
It's because they were trying to become the model minority.
Oh,
they were trying to become palatable for the Englishman, the white man.
And the thing is, that's fine. Just don't stop. Don't, like, your offspring now shouldn't be copying. That's it.
You know what's interesting, Coley?
There's literally a video, Serena. Just a sec. There's literally a video of a dude who's talking about how his parents. I don't know what it is with people coming online and just randomly in the middle of the day or in their bed or at night or in the morning, first thing, talking about Jamaicans. They pull it in the shit and then they say, oh, Jamaicans, it's disturbing for me, I can't lie. But this dude was like, oh, you know, when I used to say I was gonna go hang out with my Jamaican friend, my parents would get mad and my mum wouldn't be happy about it. And he was like, what did Jamaican people do? What did you guys do? What did you guys do? And then he said something in his language that I couldn't understand. And I was just like, yeah, like, we know that people were raised this way. And then when I talk about the shit I'm talking about, no, it's because we were bullied. Listen, man, I'm tired. I don't want to hear it. Go ahead, Serena.
I think that African societies are heavily Arabized and Christianized and Muslimized and Jewishized and all that kind of stuff. And in the West, we have a culture that they call ghetto, ratchet. And this is what I said when I first started speaking. I was saying something along these lines. So what they do, because we are not so obsessed with remaining encapsulated within religious constructs, they looked down on us. Now, once they've come here and experienced what it's like not to have to be so, strict religiously, they've realized, oh, they do have a culture, and the culture's classed as ghetto and ratchet, but actually it's not. It's just how it is. And then what they've done is enjoyed it and taken it on. So it's almost like they see our culture as more of a rebellion than a culture compared to a religious structure. And that's where the confusion is coming in.
Slaves.
Say that again, sorry?
Yeah, excuse me, no, I mean to cut you. But we had to be rebellious. Yeah, if we were...
Hold on, Saint, what's that? Saint Lovejoy. Just before you speak, guys, remember, let's get this to 300,000, okay? It's tapping and it's free. It's so fast. But let's do that, okay? And get the shares up, please. Saint Love, let everyone, Lovejoy, let everyone know what your ethnic background is and where you're based.
Yes, I'm from the West Indies, living in America. In the state of America. Florida.
No, you West Indies, what's your ethnic background? Jamaica. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I forgot my train of thought. 1 second. I
was saying that that our we do have a culture.
Yes,
but our culture is usually treated as a rebellion.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. And if we wasn't rebellious, a lot of stuff that Africa have been doing in the last century, that came from us being rebellious and being against the system. Yeah, we didn't want to lay down and be slaves and be pushed around. We actually fought. We used music, art. We kept using the stuff that culture. That's the culture. Your art, the music, your natural culture. Whatever you do, that's naturally gifted and just God talented. Whatever they be like natural, like I said, the music, reggae music, ska, soca, hip hop. It transcends and teaches worldwide about heritage, culture, food. It's a beautiful thing. But they take it now and they distort it into everything is pagan now. Stop following pagan laws and rules. That's what you keep us mind effed. We just need to get out of that the matrix and start thinking positively and building our community. We've been doing it for a long time. We still haven't been broken to where we're not moving no more. We still use music and art, but we just use it to basically now oppress ourselves. Think about our music right now. It's very oppressive. So we got to change that mind frame.
We've had to put everything to a halt. The music's come to a halt. Afrobeats is dead. Everything's come to a halt. The culture's come to a halt because what we've noticed is Africans, we are very welcoming people. So if you've got YT people that want to join in with our culture, our little rebellion, if you want to call it the rebellion, it's fine. Everybody can join in, but Africans are trying to.
But people have to be careful with that shit, because you see that M.R. dude.
We're too inclusive.
I don't like him.
I don't
like him.
Inclusive.
Yeah, but the thing is, because he's YT, it's obvious that it's cosplaying. So it's kind of
Eminem.
It's stupid, but it's harmless.
That man gets me so mad. Seriously, it's actually unhealthy how mad that man gets me. Swear down,
it's stupid
because what he took, you know what it is. I know that the way he is because of Caribbean people. I know that it's Caribbean people's fault that he is this way, right? Because he's been made to feel too comfortable. He learned Jamaica patois. Now he's saying to someone who's Jamaican heritage, that he's more Jamaican than her because he goes to Jamaica more.
He's got mental health issues. He's got definitely got mental health.
Because listen, watch this, here's why I don't care really. I'll tell you why. I know people with mental health issues and I've known people with it, right? Different types of situations, right? My thing is this. When someone is able to be strategic with their mental health, then I don't feel any type of sympathy or empathy because you somehow knew how to manage it in a way that will bring you success. That's when I have to look and say, no, because you were able to look at the woman that was Jamaican heritage and tell her, say, you're not more Jamaican than me. How many? When's the last time you went to Jamaica? When do you even know what's going on the streets? Because being Jamaican heritage ethnically means knowing what go on our road, apparently in the streets, right? And then the other, because it has to be ghetto or something like ghetto, right? And then the other thing is now he went on the Drewski show, so he built up his flipping career, right? I've been a flipping caricature because he knows which part of Jamaicanness to take. The ratchet ghetto, wanna bump and grind with gal and dagga this and pum this that. And that's what he knows to do, any. He don't know anything else,
exploiting.
Right?
It's just exploiting.
He goes on to the Drewski show, and when he goes on to the Drewski show, right, a Jamaican man was upset with him because he knew he was an Englishman from England. Yeah. And said, I'm a real Jamaican. What are you doing? How come you stick it on him? He said, which part you come from? Me a real bad man. That's how he started talking to the man from St. Catherine, Jamaica, right?
Listen, Coley, the Americans boxed up M.R. Yo, like, listen, Coley, the Americans boxed up M.R. recently. I think he was on Drewski. One of them, what's his name? Trippy. Is it Trippy? Trippy Red. Yeah, I think he M.R. was like, he's Jamaican, and then Trippy Red was like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, how are you Jamaican when you're white?
He was from Kingston. He said he was from he picked the Bay is base.
Yeah.
The Bay is place.
The capital. Yeah, everybody know Kingston. Yeah, Trenchtown, Tivoli, Garden. We all know.
Right.
Nah,
so the point
I don't like, we're too accepting. We're too accepting because for those of you that were here like a few weeks back as well, we had someone who was Asian come on speaking in shitty, attempting to speak in Jamaican patois, terrible, and he just wanted to advertise his business, his Caribbean business, right? And I said, what kind of mockery is this? And I locked him off. Like, you don't get to talk on my shit. I'm sorry. But there was a Jamaican heritage man, unfortunately, that was like, oh no, Coley, he's just picking up the culture. I said,
yeah, when it's beneficiary, when there's money involved, you pick up the culture. Not to a fight against oppressor, not to
what kind of cheapening shit is this? I don't like anyone cosplaying. I don't reserve this just for West African people. If anyone cosplaying, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's for everyone. So that's the point that I was making when I'm saying that it's not. We're very welcoming with our culture, and West Africans have basically been welcomed in, but they're trying to go on like it's them now because based on the aesthetic. Even Shatawala has recently made a song. Sorry, just letting speak up and out. I can't take him. I don't like Drake at all. I hate that shit. The cosplay just pisses me off. Yeah, go on, Serena.
It's a Shatawala. Now you've got African aunties doing TikTok challenge dance, where they're saying a part of Shatawala's new song where he says, "We don't want a friend from them," and the African auntie saying, "We don't want a friend from them," in blatant Jamaican patois. So my thing is, we kind of have to see our culture as a rebellion. And people who rebel their religions want to join our culture because it's seen as a rebellion. And the moment we stop allowing people to jump on our coattail as though our culture is a rebellion, that's when things may, turn around, because it's not a rebellion and we need to protect it. And there needs to be initiations. They need to drop, if they want, like Islam. It's actually, that's our religion. It's not a rebellion. It's a religion to not be pagans. It's a religion not to be to have slaves. It's a religion to not have all these things, And once we coin that properly and make people respect how they navigate it, that's when things will change. As far as I'm concerned, we're not seeing our culture as a religion, and it's presenting as a rebellion.
Did you make reference to Islam?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, I said that when people flee, drop Islamic values or Christian values and things like that, they tend to want to adapt our culture. That was the point that I was making.
Like, it don't have anything to do with religion, to be fair.
We need to stop seeing our culture as it's not, we don't need to coin a religion or anything, but we need to see it as powerful as that, and stop making people treat it as though it's some sort of safe space to escape their culture and their religion and the things that they get up to, because what they're doing is coming into our environment.
No, but when you say religion, that means anyone can subscribe to the thing, though.
What did you say, sorry? What did you say?
No, because obviously, just like I said, with religions, people can follow that religion or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even when you look at the Jays and whatnot, or when Jayism and whatnot, like, there are plenty of people that convert over. So that wouldn't eliminate or reduce what you're talking about. But I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Let me explain it to you again. What I'm saying is, we're not a religion. However, religious people, when they drop their religion, they tend to see our culture as a safe space. But so that's not going to stop. That's not going to.
Is as like it acts as a rebellious safe space for people who rebel against their cultures and their religions, and we've got to protect that, because it's not a rebellion. It's not a safe space. Our culture is not a safe space.
I don't know.
People rebelling from their own cultures and religions.
I understand what you're saying.
I get what she's saying.
Explain it to him, Quan, because
I don't know. But she can correct me if I'm wrong. But
go on, Quan.
Go ahead, Quan. I need to pee. So yeah, go ahead, guys. Let's get this to 300,000, so I don't have to turn the comments off, please. Okay, go ahead, Quan.
Yeah, Quan, go on.
I ran out of likes. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but are you basically saying, like, how, you know how sometimes I'll use YT people as an example, because they do it the most. You know, sometimes when they fall out of religion, they go to places like Hawaii and they rediscover themselves, and they find that place to be like a safe space for them to kind of reinvent themselves.
Right.
Yeah. And you're basically saying, like, they do the same thing with Caribbean people, Caribbean culture.
Yes. Yes. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing.
Can you give me one example, Serena? Sorry,
I can give you an example of African people fleeing Africa and not wanting to be African no more, and then taking and then saying the Jamaican and taking on Jamaican culture as theirs. Yeah. That's the
I understand that, but I'm talking about. No, I understand that.
No, do it as well. YT people do it as well when they don't want to be YT no more.
Yeah, move to Jamaica in the hills and don't go back home.
Start shacking up with Rasta men and Jamaican men, and
exactly.
I don't understand what you don't see about how it plays itself.
No. So I know. Like, maybe it's because you threw in the religion part of it. That was what was throwing me off. So
I'm saying that it's akin to a religion. That's the point, that it's so powerful, our safe space.
She's basically saying our culture is not a place for you to come and reinvent yourself once things go wrong, or you change your mind about who you want to be.
And you're never ever actually sincere. You're just using, abusing, and leaving.
Because you ain't got you got no identity.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
you get me. It's like
guys, anytime I hear religion, my brain just switches off Abbey Road. That's all.
Try to listen. I was just saying it was as powerful. Our culture is as powerful as a religion, and it's as though we need to have initiations and things like that. We need to respect our culture.
So you're just saying that people look at Caribbean culture. People look at Caribbean culture as a way to, escape from their own situation, basically their own cultures and whatnot. That's fine. I understand that. That's very simple.
Yeah, it's so. And the point that I'm making about religion, I'm saying it's so deep. It's as though they convert to Caribbean culture the way someone would convert to Islam.
No, it's not. Okay, cool. So you're not saying it. You're not saying it literally. You're not saying it literally. You're saying it metaphorically, like in terms of like.
Yeah, like you know, like Tom Hanks' son. When his career wasn't working out, all of a sudden he was like big on Jamaican culture, and that's kind of like how he got popular on social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when it comes to a lot of them, they don't really be converting in the sense of like they learning the history and whatnot and all these things or whatever. It's just cheap. It's just keep cheap.
Yeah.
Cosplaying and
yes.
Conforming to stereotypes. Conforming to stereotypes. Appealing to like
stereotypes. Exactly.
Yes. And being caricatures of actual people.
Let me ask you a question. Let me say something. Right. So
if we ask a question, Serena, can you tell me, Serena, how Adele dated Skepta?
Yeah.
Who's Nigerian. Yeah. And ended up doing the whole Jamaican thing.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
How did that happen? How you date Nigerian Skepta and then do Jamaican shit?
Because what she was trying to do is siphon Caribbean energy. She didn't realize the difference between
who's Nigerian. Funny that. Yeah, just saying. She
didn't realize that there was a big difference, and she was like, "Oh, actually, I was trying to be Jamaican, not African." So my thing is that we have to take responsibility, because if we look at it like a religion, for example, now, I'm not saying that we should coin a religion, but our culture is very powerful as like a religion. Nobody can deny that. So if you look at Islam, for example, they do allow people to come into their religion. However, when they come in, they have to promote everything Islam, everything Arab. We don't hold people to the same account. If they want to join our thing, they can't Africanize it or whiteize it and dot it and adal it. We have to make put people in a position where they have to promote our culture. And this is where the issue is coming in. We're not seeing our culture as something to embrace, number one, but people are embracing it anyway. And we haven't created a situation where they are then obligated to promote our culture. What they're doing, we're promoting Africanness, and they're not having to promote anything other than the parts of us that they want to take on. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. We were powerful. We run maritime trade up until today. We need to know our culture and how it still stands. How it still stands today. And if anybody wants to come into our culture, if you ain't seen to be projecting those things so that our culture remains with us, then you're not allowed. Then we should isolate them.
But do you know what I want to?
You're not that no more.
But do you know what I want to add to that though? I feel like a lot of living in London as well, because my parents are immigrants here. A lot of the like Windrush gen kids, they're a bit more, I guess I would say like distant from the culture. So they only know like bits and pieces. But the ones that I do see, especially the ones that are younger than me, they like perpetuating stereotypes because I feel like they think that is what it is to be Jamaican.
Yeah. And that is it's the Pan-Africans' fault, that is, because there was a gap between when we were knowing that we were West Indians and when we became Afro-Caribbean. So that gap here is where the issue is, and why the children are not knowing their history from Jamaica and how the Caribbean, shall I say, and how that was active in the UK before the Windrush. So instead of promoting West Indian culture from the Caribbean and West Indian culture from the UK, what they did is started promoting Africanness.
Right, because I never identified as
sorry. Can you tell me the stuff you're talking about around the police force, please?
Yeah, I will. It's all right, Coley. I'm doing a presentation on it. So I'm having meetings with them as well. So when I'm talking, I know like it's deep, because what I'm saying is that gap left our children to just pick up on small nuances about our culture and watch. They never learned nothing about our culture from their parents. They learn Pan-Africanism from their parents. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
Yeah. Wait, can I say something?
Go on.
So the thing is, like with Pan-Africanism, to be honest, Pan-Africanism, I don't think Pan-Africanism is bad. The only reason why Pan-Africanism, people don't like Pan-Africanism is because not everybody abides by those rules. So that's why I feel like people don't really like Pan-Africanism. I think Pan-Africanism is a good ideology. However, in current times, not everybody abides by those rules. Like, not everybody is Pan-African. Like, a lot of Africans, they're not really Pan-African. They're not.
Okay,
so that's why it doesn't work, because so that's why it doesn't. Wait, hold on. So that's why it doesn't really work, because of that. You know, because like if you're on the side of like, yeah, you know, we're all together, and you know, once you're black, then you know, yeah, like I'll fuck with you, but you know, if other people aren't really on that wave, then that's when it becomes, you know, yeah, that's when it just becomes bullshit.
Okay. The reason why
because
hold on. Diplomat magazine. This is fascinating stuff. I am going to look into more of this, Serena. Yeah, this is fascinating. Metropolitan Police, founded by Robert Pure in 1829, proudly styled themselves as the new force, yet in reality this was an overstatement. They defined themselves as first and foremost a preventative police force using men drawn from the local community for law enforcement. However, another police force was already in existence, founded by West Indian merchants, created in 1798.
Right, Coley. So this is what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? When people are saying we came with the Windrush, what are you talking about? So whereas my grandparents taught me that, yeah, my parents, who were Pan-African, were promoting Pan-Africanism, which created a gap in our existence. So, Kay, I get where you're coming from based on the school of thought that you've had. However, I'm asking you to expand your brain, not in an insultive way, and expand your curiosity and look at where Pan-Africanism has potentially done damage to our people, because there's certain things about being West Indian that has not been promoted that makes up our identity, which has therefore pivoted our focus on Africa and not on ourselves. You understand what I'm saying to you? So my great-grandfather, he had a British passport.
Hold on, just a sec, Serena. It's British people who erase your history, not Africans / Pan-African.
Wasn't.
Look, listen. Look, what I'm discussing, right, is not an either or. Okay, it's not an either or. And this is an argument that I find a lot of the time. It's like if I mention what I'm seeing from people of West African backgrounds when it relates to how people are speaking on Caribbean heritage people in Britain, right? Then it's no, you need to focus on the white man. No, you're just ignoring the white man. No, what about the Asians? No, what about this? It's not about that, right? Thank you, Adrian. It's not about that. It's not either or. It's all. That's it. It's all. Mm-hmm. So I'll acknowledge all of it. So if I see people that are of this background or that background that are doing things that are harmful and all the rest of it, that's one thing. But I will not exclude people who are West African heritage that I'm seeing do certain things just because their skin color is brown. That's nonsensical. So I'll acknowledge all of it.
They do us the same way in America. They do us the same way in America. They pretend like we can't see them. So it's like,
how can Africans erase a history they didn't know existed? Okay, so I imagine, no, you were here though, because I feel like I saw your name at one point. You know the context in which I've mentioned the erasure of Caribbean heritage identity in the UK. If you're referring to that specific element of history that we've just become privy to, that's something else. But of course, when I was talking about the attempted erasure of Caribbean heritage people in Britain, I wasn't referring to this particular thing because I didn't know about it, so I couldn't be referring to that. So no, I wasn't referring to that. So it doesn't change the fact that the type of erasure I'm seeing is the type of erasure I'm seeing. Just because this is information we've just stumbled upon, it doesn't mean that that now throws everything else out the window and now we've got to focus on this, because that's not what I was even talking about to begin with. This is new information for me. So the context is different.
And I was going to say, that's quite ignorant of her to say that, because when you go to if you see like, do you guys see those food trucks? I know we have a lot of them in London, and it'll be like Afro-Caribbean food. I go to the food truck and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then it's like jerk chicken with jollof rice. And I'm like, we don't eat jollof rice. How is this Caribbean food? This is not Caribbean food. It's little ways like that.
Have you seen the new Afro-Caribbean fish and chip shop?
It's getting to a point.
I have seen that.
No. Have you seen it, guys? It pops up in my feed yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen
I was scrolling.
I've seen it, yeah, and it's called It's called an Afro-Caribbean. But this is the thing. I see a lot of people using that term very.
What was the
They've hijacked it.
What was the food?
Well, the food. I feel like there was one or two Jamaican options, but the majority of it was Nigerian.
It was Nigerian food. It was called Afro-Caribbean Fish and Chip Shop, right?
Yeah, it's
and
mind
when we
games.
say Afro, and the thing is, when we say Afro-Caribbean, okay, we are not. Don't tell us what to do. When we're talking about Afro-Caribbean, the understanding is we're referring to Afro-Caribbean people, not African people and Caribbean.
We're not saying, when we say Afro, we're not saying
It's
African.
mind games.
We're saying Afro-Caribbean, and that's
Afro.
Oh, hi, Kay, by the way. Hi, Queen.
specifically for people who are Caribbean heritage. That's it. There's no, that means people who are Nigerian.
They've been
and
hijacking
that's
it,
not what
still.
it means. Okay? So to do that is not only disingenuous, right? It's completely misleading. And for me to see the video and it's jollof rice and fish and whatever.
Yeah.
If I
I
have
was
a
mad.
Nigerian surname or whatever it was, I'm like, this is on purpose. Just
There's a
call it.
shop.
Call it.
They're taking the piss.
Wait, hold on. Call it Nigerian fish and chip shop. Call it West African fish and chip shop. Do that.
Yeah.
It's not Caribbean. Stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've noticed
that term. Wait, hold on, Google.
Go on.
Hold on, Google. I'm just gonna say, that term is being used incorrectly. Like, people are talking about Afro-Caribbean and they think it's a mixture of African and Caribbean, but Afro-Caribbean is specifically for BLK Caribbean people. So, like, maybe we need to come up with a new term if we want to fuse African and Caribbean together. And but don't just
Hold on. Everyone chill. I want to respond to this comment because this is interesting. So beautiful Amarie said, I understand this, but there's so many African Caribbean children in this UK now. So you're referring to people that have mixed and produced children.
They're a minority,
When you see, and yes, they are a minority. When you see a mixed race person in the UK sense, right? It's an official racial category in the UK, mixed race. I have mixed race cousins. I'm not referring to multi-generationally mixed people like myself and my brother. I'm not talking about MGM. I'm talking about mixed race, half and half, right? Two different races. When you see a mixed race person, right, who's half, let's say they're half Jamaican and half
German.
Or German. Let's say that, right? When you see that happening, do you then say, no, what we need to do is say, this is a mixed race product. This is a mixed race food. Do you do that, or do you understand that they're half one thing and half another, and it's understood that they're half one thing and half another? Do you tell them, right, well, you guys are like a thing now, so now we need to create new terms and concepts around your identity? No. Because it's normal to see mixed race people. Just because someone is half Caribbean, whatever background, and half African, whatever background, it does not now mean that they're just this new product and this is a new group that now needs to just merge all identities together, and now that's a new identity in itself. You still acknowledge what they are. They will still practice whatever Caribbean heritage culture they have and whatever African culture they have. In the same way, someone who's half white and half black, whatever their backgrounds, will look at their English side or Scottish side or whatever, and their Caribbean side or African side.
And on top of that, that is their choice. Society cannot assume what ethnicity or what their identity they want to take up. And this is where, Africans go wrong, because they're always trying to tell people what the should and should do and who the should and should be based on what they perceive them to be. It's not good. So just bringing it back to the fact that, we need to promote Caribbeanness. We need to promote West Indianness. And this is why when people say, oh, you can't be saying that you're West Indian. No, we are West Indian because we played a big, massive role in in building the systems and institutions.
How is it? Sorry, Serena, bear with me. Anne-Marie, how is it a flawed argument? Because this is the thing. I see a lot of if someone is it, like, as a Caribbean, you need to call yourself African because you've got African ancestry. That's just
self-hating.
Someone's half Jamaican and half Nigerian, or half Trinidadian and half Nigerian, the stuff I hear. Well, no, like they're all the way Jamaican. They should be able to call themselves that, or they're all the way Nigerian. They're half and half. Can someone who's half racially black and half white, go into a white space, tell them, I'm white? No. In fact, if they say that, are you comfortable with it? Can they do that? Can they run around telling white people that they're white?
No, they can't.
No.
When it comes to blackness,
they call us mixed race.
It comes to blackness, we're meant to be comfortable with this idea that they can run around and say, oh, I'm black. No, that's not a thing in Britain, thankfully. So do you expect them to do the same thing with whiteness? This is what I mean with this cheapening. It's only when someone is racially black
they don't do it.
That people can't have boundaries or gatekeep. They're not allowed. But when it comes to whiteness or Asianness, suddenly we understand, no, there's boundary. No, we need to respect.
No, because
they want to join our thing. Like, their life depends on it.
It's because of the historical discourse, right? So the historical discourse, would have BLK people looking at whiteness or anything, anything other than Africanness. Anything other than being African and being and blackness as sort of self-hate, right? So, and a lot of these people, unfortunately, a lot of our brainwashed Caribbean people.
Sorry, Chief Tava, whether you claim Africa, first of all, weather's not spelled that way. You spelled weather the wrong way in the wrong context. So the way you've just spelled weather is in reference to the weather, climate, rain,
mind games.
Snow. That's what you did. Weather's spelled in this context with a H. So it's WH, not WEA, okay? First of all, you claim Africa or not, the world and society, society will always view you as one. Crying face, crying face, crying face. By the way, for those of you that were here earlier, these are the examples I'm talking about when people put crying faces next to their reference to telling everyone that they're African because they hate themselves so much that they would use their own identity to mock someone. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy that you use your own identity to mock someone? So first and foremost, again, because you have a colonized mindset, and that's fine. I'm not you. That's the point. We're different, okay? I don't see myself through the eyes of the white man. You do, and that's fine. You see yourself through the eyes of the white man, and you are entitled to do that because he's your master. He's not mine. So I don't have to view myself the way people outside of my community view me. I don't care.
Right.
What I am, factually, is just what I am.
And you know what it is as well?
Work on your grammar skills, though. Struggling.
Okay.
Take it up with the ancestors.
Oh. Anyone
How
on
am
this
I meant to do that? Guess what? Here's the thing. Guess what? Yeah. Hi, Vincent. How you doing? You know what? My ancestors, right? After they were sold by people from your community, right? Historically, after they were sold, right? And sent to the islands, among the Tainos that were there, that ended up being enslaved as well. They actually managed to develop something so amazing and so beautiful under the worst of circumstances that today is now a culture that people love to look at and love to be a part of. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of those ancestors, the ones that were displaced and that were mixed in the islands, and now the situation's different. That's made me what I am today. I'm proud of them. I'm not proud of you. You're not me, and I'm not you. I'm not proud of you. You don't have my story.
Exactly.
Your
We don't
ancestors
have
are
the
not
same
my
story.
ancestors. My ancestors were separated. We're not the same people. We're not the same. My ancestors did amazing things. Talk to me about your ancestors and focus on your ancestors, but me and you aren't the same people. My ancestors were removed from your people. They're different. We're not the same. So I'm so proud of my ancestors. God bless them. God bless them for going through what they went through to becoming who they are now. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud.
This guy thinks he's doing something.
I wanted to say something, right?
Why do people
hold on.
Sisters, I only just got back, you know. Remember, I ain't been alive for a minute, so please. So they think they're doing something. Like, so Donny Pot, oh yeah, well, he's gonna order Caribbean food or Jamaican food. Yeah, he said he's cancelling, and I'm like, bro, do you know how high demand? Do you know how high demand? Yeah. Do you know how high demand the food is? Listen, that means that someone else is gonna get that bad rude boy. Yeah. But why? I don't know why they think that they actually. In fact, before these lot were even here like that, yeah, the YT people are being, you know, I'm trying to say, loving up our thing, yeah. Even with Carnival, we don't need these lot to do anything. I think they need to understand it. We don't need you lot to do anything.
No, but they know.
We don't need you lot. We didn't need you to get reggae popping. We didn't need you to get dancehall popping. We didn't need you to get soca popping. We didn't need you to get calypso popping. We don't need you lot. We don't need you lot to do nothing, bro. We didn't even need you. We didn't even need you lot. Wait, hold on. Wait, sisters, wait, hold on. We didn't even need you lot, yeah, to free ourselves from slavery. Stop. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Stop all of this. Oh yeah, forget all of that. Yeah. It's noise. Like we just do our own thing. Like I don't know why these lot think that they are literally the only reason. They're the only reason. They make it like they're the only reason as to why we're here and we're doing what we're doing. In fact, I'll make an argument that the reason why we're here is because they top, yeah, and they started sending people and they got, you know what I'm saying? Like let's not do all of that. Like it's ridiculous.
Hold on, Serena, can I just say something? Because wait,
one at a time.
Serena, I just wanted to say something. I'm gonna be really quick. I promise. Wait.
Go ahead, Kwan, and then I'll let Serena go. Go ahead, Kwan. You can go and then Serena.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna be really quick. I just wanted to say, yeah, they see, like, even down there in the comments, they're saying that the world will always view you as African, this, that, and the third. Cool, that's fine. However, why don't hold on. Why don't we address the issues, right, that we're facing? Why don't we address the issues? Like, come on, put a panel. Let's talk about the issues that Caribbean people have. Let's talk about the issues that African people have. Why don't we address those issues? You know, like, it seems like people just want to. It seems like people just want to actually.
Wait, hold on. The thing is, hold on. The thing is, it's not true.
That's not me, bro.
The world will always see you as African. That's not true. That's not true. If you want to say the world will see you as black, but
before they could even name,
we're African. Please shut up.
Before they could name African, before anyone could name African countries, like we would separate. Like I don't know why we're pushing.
Well, I wanted to make a quick point, yeah. And I think it's
true,
so
man.
ironic.
Wherever you go, they're gonna call you. They're gonna say, "Oh, are you from Africa?" Like I even saw a video.
Nobody's gonna say that.
Listen, I think it's so ironic that we're having this conversation.
Please, guys, we gotta be for real with ourselves.
No, but let's be so real.
We have to be for real with ourselves.
Let's be so real.
They are gonna say that.
No, but wait, pause.
No, they're not ironic.
Hello, can I tell the difference between Africans and Caribbeans? When a white person comes up to me and they ask me where I'm from, if I say Jamaica, that's the conversation done. They don't say to me, "Oh, so you're really African then?" Yeah, like they don't say that. Only Africans do say that.
Okay. What I'm saying is that just because of the slavery thing, that's why they're all.
I don't think that's true.
Most of them, most people outside of us, most people they're not educated on slavery. Like they don't know the ins and outs. Most people are not thinking about 200 plus years ago. What they are familiar with.
Don't even bother have the conversation with her. She does this all the time.
No, it's fine. Most people. most YT people, you think they give a toss about 200 years ago? The only thing that what they know is they know Bob Marley. I'm trying to say they know
And
reggae,
jerk
they know
chicken.
that dancehall, and they know jerk chicken. They don't care.
And if
They're
you
not
don't
going to be.
have
Oh
jerk
yes,
chicken,
they don't look at jerk. They don't look at rice and peas and go, oh yeah, well that's the slavery connection. That's the slavery connection to Ghana. No, they don't. Like stop pushing these narratives. Yeah, majority of the time, when we're talking about
I
YT
feel like
people,
we need to link up in real life so I can help you out because I don't understand why you always don't want to promote Caribbean.
No, Serena, it's fine.
No, I do want to promote Caribbeanness. I'm just saying.
Wait,
hold on,
please.
guys. When a YT person, if they want to be racist, the first thing they're going to say to us is go back to Africa.
People, man.
And that's a fact.
I've actually been doing these live.
Can I say something?
How often does that happen realistically? Come on, man. How? In fact, furthermore. Wait, hold on, Kandaki, because I got this one because she like. Furthermore, you got far right parties and whatnot, and people saying actually we don't mind the West Indians, the Caribbeans. Not trying to say we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that actually want to send back or whatnot. So if you want to go with that narrative, they very much do make a distinction. They're not dumb. Even when I was learning, like I don't know if you guys learned the same thing. During GCSEs or whatnot, we was learning about contemporary. Not contemporary, but learning about Britain, trying to say post-World War II Britain and whatnot, and all these things, and sort of race relations and stuff and whatnot. I even recalled that watching a film at the time where you had a class of no, I can't remember if it was a class, but it was basically a Caribbean boy, and he was surrounded by or with YT boys or whatnot, and they made a distinction there. Like we've never had the same issues as the Afs in terms of like the self-hating and coming along and wanting to be African and whatnot. Like think about it. If from your family, KK, do you know anyone that if you that your grandparents or whatnot? I can't remember what generation you was, but they came over here and then they was repping African flags. Sorry, because they were being told to go back to Africa. Can you give me an example of that, please?
It's not happened. It's just not a thing. Just to say as well.
Yeah, cool. So it doesn't happen. There we go.
Hold on. Just as an example as well. There's actually this is the craziest example. This is an extreme example as well, which proves the point. There's a man. I will ask my brother his name. He was the one telling me about him, and then I saw the video. It's mad. He's a far right activist. Okay. Think like BNP, but like now. I don't know what the name of.
Is it like Tommy Robinson?
No, not Tommy. It's a different guy. He's far right? And basically, he's like an older man, like middle-aged, big like beer belly, right? And what he did a little documentary on YouTube. If you guys are interested, let me know and I'll put it up.
Yeah, put it up.
But he went to Birmingham, right? And where did he go, Serena? Where did he go in Birmingham to look for Caribbean people? I don't remember his name. I'll find it though. But where did he go in Birmingham to look for the Caribbeans?
The Handsworth.
Of course, right? So he went to Handsworth, okay, in Birmingham, where I'm from, right, and where Kandak is from as well. So he's gone to Birmingham. Now, remember, he's far right, okay? He has certain views. There's an understanding that Birmingham was a place where Caribbean people were heavily. Like, that's why I say when I was growing up, black people in Birmingham with Caribbean heritage, they were all of different West Indian backgrounds. Jamaican, Trinidadian, Grenadian, all of that, right? And here's what happened. He's walking through Birmingham and he's saying Birmingham's changed. He said, I want to interview people that are like the black people of Birmingham. I'm looking for the Caribbeans. And then he mentioned UB40 and all this weird shit. So I'm looking for the Caribbean people. Where are they? And as he's walking and the cameraman's recording him, there were like a group of people that were racially black that walked by him. And he said, yeah, like they're black, but that's not the type of black, they're African. I want to know where the Caribbeans are, like where are like the Jamaicans? I promise to God, this is what he said.
You got to show it because they won't believe it.
I'm not sure Charles post it. I'm gonna ask my brother to send me the link so that I can check his name.
They won't
my
believe
thing
it.
is, he looked and said, nah, not them. He literally said, this is a white far right man. He said, no, they're African. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like the Caribbean people. Where's like the real people, like the old generation, like the Jamaicans. I want someone with a Jamaican accent. That's what he said. He said that. He looked. He didn't ask the people. Oh,
You gotta post it. They won't believe it.
What's your background? He didn't ask them. He knew.
They won't believe it. You have to post it. You have to post it.
I'll post it. Fine. Actually,
Yeah,
hold on. I'm gonna ask for the link. What's it? Carry on, nonsense.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, use what I was going to say. Yeah, you know what? Kay is the only one who just has an issue with referencing Africanism, Africans to everything.
Oh my fucking gosh. Serena, relax. What I fucking said.
Yeah.
What I said was that people are going to see us as that because of the slavery thing. And you know what? I've been on this panel.
Because of our
fucking acting like I didn't. No. Because we're not going to do that. We're not going to do what you're trying to do.
Ladies, chill.
No, but we're not going to do what she's trying to do. Like, she's trying to take it in
No, we're not enemies
another
here,
direction. Like when I came up on the panel, never once did I say, oh yeah, let's not promote Caribbeanness. Never once did I say that. Africans are in the comments chatting shit. I'm telling them to actually come up on the panel so that we can discuss issues that both communities have. Clearly, nobody wants to do that.
To talk about their issues.
I'm talking about the grievances.
She's trying to address the topic as a whole, is what she's trying to say.
I'm trying precisely. I'm talking about the grievances. I'm talking about the grievances that Caribbean people may have with African people, right? I'm trying to get them. You don't want to talk to them. I think it's good. I think it's good that they come up and we talk to them. I think it's good that they come up and we talk to them.
Some of them do come up. No, it's fine. We do. To be fair, the whole Coley does tell them to rise a lot of the time, and she does. In fact, in my opinion, I think she gives a lot of them too much. I think she gives a lot of them too much airtime in it. Like if this is a space for Caribbean people first and foremost, whatnot. Like as much as I want, in some instances, I want to know I want to understand some of the mindset and whatnot and certain things. I do think that we do give them too much airtime sometimes. But going to my actual point, because people keep playing these games, so I'm also in the north, Anne-Marie, and I'm also in South Yorkshire, because she referenced Yorkshire and she tried to make it seem as if people can't tell. Yes, they can. Stop doing this, man. I don't know why. Remember, because it's simple as this.
Sorry, nonsense. Just before I forget, I'll let you to continue in a second.
Go on.
The channel's called the Jolly Heretic, right? His name is Richard Grannon. The Jolly Heretic. The name of the doc he did is called Looking for Whites in England, because obviously he's concerned that whites are being outnumbered. He's a far right person, okay?
He starts to look for the Caribbeans.
He went to Birmingham looking for the originals, and he was struggling to find, thank you darling, he was struggling to find Caribbean people. He was looking and he was like, they're not Caribbean though, they're African. I'm trying to find.
And that was from him just looking at it.
But
he was chatting off. Sorry, thank you, original.
So finishing with what I was saying, again, so I'm in Yorkshire as well, Anne-Marie, and this narrative, especially when we've got Leeds Carnival, Nottingham, and all these places, whatever, where again, like before a lot of African immigration and whatnot, the black population there that set the culture and all these things or whatnot, the identity of those cities, they were Caribbean, the YT people that were living side by side with the Caribbean people, they can tell. You know what I'm trying to say? The same, because this is the thing. On one hand, it's this, oh yeah, well, Caribbean people, they simulate with YT people and whatnot, and all these other things. But then but on the flip side, the same people that you're saying that they simulated with,
I'll bring you back.
The same people that you lot say that we assimilated with apparently can't tell the difference. It's ridiculous. Like I know plenty of YT people that have been around us for time. They know African, they know a Caribbean. Stop playing these games. Yeah, they know the food, they know the flags. You don't stop playing these games. Yeah, in fact, they might not even.
When the story I shared of the pub, right? When me and my brother went to our local pub. When we went there and the guy that owns the pub asked us what our backgrounds were, because that's a normal conversation. It wasn't offensive, it was normal. And then we asked him what he is, and then he told us to around this and I said, okay.
Yeah.
The next time we came around, he said, please come by on Sunday. I'll do you a dinner, because he does a roast on a Sunday. Obviously, it's Sunday. When we went, how come he did us fried dumplings? They were salty, but he tried because he loved off the culture.
They can't tell.
To make you these.
No, they can't tell. They can't tell. They can't tell. So what? So in their minds, using their logic,
we love white people. That's what it is.
Using their logic, using their logic. Watch this. Using their logic. If they couldn't tell, what would have happened in that instance? And
why are we aligning with white people?
What would have happened? Yeah, if they couldn't tell, what would have happened? Wait, sister, please. Let me just say this quickly, because let me just quickly say this, please. Alright, cool. So if they couldn't tell using their logic, what would have happened was he would have cooked you egusi and fufu. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If that was the case, yeah. So again, people play these games like it's we know that actually they can tell. If we're going by the same narrative that they say that, well, we've assimilated with the YT working class people. So then, assuming that is the case, based off what they say in the narrative is, then surely the people that we were assimilated with would be able to tell the difference between the people that they've assimilated with and the people that we haven't. Like, I don't know why we play these games.
Hold on, Serena, just a sec. Here's what I said. The same way you're complaining and saying, oh, look at them aligning with white people. Oh, she shared that story and somehow you've translated that as me aligning with white people, because you do shit like this. You're disingenuous. You're just upset that the person knew what we were and got excited. That's what bothered you, that he was happy? Ain't that crazy? You were upset that he was happy as a white Englishman. I just shared a story and you got upset. You know, the other day, Serena, I saw a comment in my video. The guy straight up lied. He's of a West African background, and he tried to say in the comments, West Indian people were never invited to the UK. It was debunked. Even old.
Yeah, they're trying to undermine Windrush as well, man.
Just lying, right? Now, my thing is this: it's jealousy, because you hold them. The people we're talking about, the YT people, you hold them up like this. That's why that story bothered you. To me, it's just a funny story. For you, it meant something deeper, right? But then when you're ready now, you're saying,
it triggers them.
White people, you care about
it goes against the narrative.
You and this and the third. Okay, then. But then when we're talking about what we are now ethnically, now you care about how white people view us, innit? Now it's, well, in the eyes of the white man, you're still this, you're still that. I thought we're not meant to think about how they view us.
No, but Coley, they're jealous.
They pick and choose.
When you see a nice story, you hear a nice story, then you're upset, innit? Ain't that crazy? Right. Go ahead, Serena.
It's not about us yet, liking the YT people. What they know, that the YT people prefer us over them. That's what they're like. Oh no! If we're gonna have black people around us, we want the Caribbeans. We don't want them ones, and they know that they don't like it. And then
we don't care less. We don't care.
I'm waiting on the explanation from Queen Shanty. Hold on, I'm waiting on the explanation from Queen Shanty on how Caribbean heritage people in Britain have become colonizers. I will let you explain this stupid shit to me.
Prince Charles. But Coley, even Prince Charles knows the difference, because when the Nigerian president went to dinner with them the other day, he was like, yes, you are welcome. with your rice and tomato juice. And
Sorry, Serena, 1 second.
I was even speaking pigeon, you know. I was shocked.
Wait. Hold on. After, don't do that. I remember you, and I've been very respectful with you. And now you've come on, and you're just celebrating white approval. When did I celebrate white approval? How? You're done. I'm tired of people.
It's because people are missing the point.
Pan-African.
No, it's COINTELPRO. We talked about this, remember?
They're not missing the point, though. They're not nonsense. They know the point. That's my problem. Are you arguing with Serena?
No, he's saying that I'm celebrating.
I don't get how they got that point, though.
Approval. So
I don't get how they got that point. Because all she was saying was, at the end of the day, Arawakian tried to say, when they look at us, they're like, what part of Africa are you from? That's never happened to me. And I don't know if it's happened to anyone else on this panel. They always ask me where I'm from. They don't say what part of the Caribbean I'm from. They don't ask me what part of Africa I'm from. They say, where am I from? And I'll tell them where I'm from. And when I tell them where I'm from, it stops there. It's never, oh, so you're really this or you're really that. And at the end of the day, nobody who is me personally who is Caribbean, because when I was younger, I never identified as Afro-Caribbean. My parents never called me Afro-Caribbean. We always just identified as West Indian or Caribbean. So all we are simply trying to say is, I don't want to be called African. I don't want to be called anything other than what I am, which is West Indian or Caribbean. I don't care if white people like me or if they don't like me. I don't care if Africans like me or they don't like me. Because at the end of the day, I am Caribbean and that is all I am. I don't know how this got misconstrued into wanting to be akin to whiteness. It had nothing to do with that.
It is them being disingenuous.
This is the point. Just 1 sec, Daniel. I'm going to bring Daniel in a second. This is the point, though, Kwan. The reality is that is how they are viewing your identity. So when you're saying, I love being this, they're hearing, oh, they think they're better. They think they're mixed. They're hearing all this shit that no one's saying until we have these conversations and then we have to say certain things. And then it's like, oh, see? Oh, gotcha. No. You wrote that because I said that the man
no. Caribbean's the bleaching capital of the world. See, that's a lie.
They're full of shit. Like, let's not do that. Because in Nigeria, people don't bleach, innit? No one bleaches in Nigeria.
Yeah. No, I can get the stats, though. No, but they play these games at night. I can get the stats.
Weddings, right? No? It's not a thing?
Yeah,
like,
we can look at the places where cake soap is sold the most. Like, well, let's not play these games. Like, again, like, do you know what it is? Yeah, a lot of the time, yeah, I hold back in it, yeah, because I don't want to do the nonsense.
Hold on.
I don't want to.
One sec. Because this person is you're either a weird mentally ill person, where I'll have to allow you, or you're a troll. Regardless, I want to know where you're from. Queen Shanti, what's your ethnic background, seeing as you don't want to come up, even though I told you to come up? What's your ethnic background, Queen Shanti? Let us know. You're from America. What's your ethnic background? Don't tell me your nationality. What's your ethnic background? I'm waiting for her to just say it. What's your ethnic background?
She's American. She's American.
So guys, those of you that are FBA that support me, I mentioned this to you hours ago. For those of you that just come through, I need you to get
call her out.
Get your
what now?
She's not gonna come up. She's not gonna
I can't hear you say you need people to do what now? Who supports you?
I invited her and she ain't gonna come up. So here's my thing, right? Oh wait, are you?
If you're FBA. If you're FBA, call out.
Hold on. I want her to come up. 1 second. Hold on. Let me bring her up. I want her up here because she's going to have to clarify the foolishness.
She's a weirdo. They're talking about we've abandoned our countries.
Daniel, bear with me. Just bear with me,
She's such a weirdo.
Queen Shanti, explain.
Explain what?
Explain why you're telling Caribbean heritage people in Britain that they're colonizers and fleeing their homeland in Britain. Explain.
Okay, so you're up here living in a white country, talking about how you hate white people.
You're in a white country too. Let's not play this game.
That's my country though. I'm from here. I'm not waving a foreign flag. I'm not waving a foreign flag in America.
What's the West Indian person?
Do you know what it is as well?
No,
And this is
What's the point of waving that flag?
no, wait, hold on,
Wait,
because
everyone
that's
talk.
actually a
Everyone
mad
talk.
thing
It's
to
okay.
say.
It's okay.
That's
It's
a
okay.
really mad thing to say.
What's the point of waving that Jamaican flag if you're never going to live
Shut
there?
your mouth, you
Let
dirty
me
stinking
wait,
donkey.
man. Wait. I want you to let her end up doing. Unlike the other FBA people that usually come on here that are educated, she's got to prove herself foolish. So I want you not to talk over her. Just let her talk.
I don't think she's from America.
Again,
Queen
what
Shanty,
is
go
the
ahead.
point of waving the flag if you're never going to live there?
What's the point of waving the flag if I'm never going to live in Jamaica? Is that what you're asking me? And now explain, before I answer your question, what you're referring to when you're saying we are colonizing in Britain.
You're going in Britain to enrich yourselves from the people that built that country up. You didn't build it at all. Your country is poor. You can't build your own country. You can't do anything in your own country. And yet you're hating on the people that gave you an opportunity. You're stealing from the people that gave you an opportunity. And now you're being racist to those people. They're about to deport your ass. You ain't been watching the news. They're about to deport all these hostile, racist immigrants.
She got to accuse of being white people. Now we're accusing of being racist.
There's a reason. Hold on. There's a reason she's here. Let her talk. You see how stupid she is. Let her finish. Go ahead.
You think it's smart to be racist? Do you think that's smart?
No one's being racist, you dumbass.
Do you think it's smart to be racist?
It's cool.
Do you think it's smart to hate people that created opportunities for you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's smart? Why are you there then? No. Why are you there? If they didn't create any opportunities, why did you go there? Why did you go
for the
there,
record,
sweetie?
this is not
Why did your
FBA
family go there?
For the record,
why did your family go there? Why did y'all stay in Jamaica?
Yo, you
if
have
y'all
to
are
be
so
racist.
smart.
Wait, listen, no, stop. I'm telling everyone to stop talking. I'm getting mad. I want her to speak.
You didn't answer one question because you can't.
Let her talk. You can hear.
No, I want you to talk. Tell us why you're not in Jamaica, and you can't go back. Tell us.
Before I answer your question, Queen.
You didn't answer the first question.
I'm going to. I remember them. I've got a good memory.
Okay, well, stop. I'm done. Just answer the questions.
Before I answer that question, tell me also, so that I can respond to this as well, when we were being racist to white people in Britain.
You said we don't have to like them. We don't have to care what they think. We don't have to do that. You're in their country. Why don't you have to care what they think? Why don't you have to care what the people who created that country think?
Of what our ethnicity is.
You just said you don't like them for their ethnicity.
When did I
You're
say
in their country.
Say when I said that. Tell me, what did I say?
You just said it the whole time. Why do you have to care what they think? I personally don't give a damn what white people think is what you said, but yet you're in a white country. You cannot give a fuck about white people in Jamaica.
That's what I said.
You know that. You cannot give a fuck about white people in Jamaica. But you don't want to do that because you need them, right?
Have you ever read
need them for the opportunities. You need them for whatever flat you live in. You need them. You can't do none of that shit in Jamaica. And yet you're over there waving that failed flag.
Would you like me to answer your questions now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the first one. You said, why are you there when you're in a country you never helped build? I'm glad you said that. And I'll explain why. So please don't interrupt me, okay? I'm going to answer your questions. The reason that I'm in Britain is because there was such a thing called the Windrush. The Windrush happened between the 40s and the late 60s, early 70s, right? This was when Britain asked people of the West Indies to come to Britain to help rebuild the country and the economy after World War II. They were invited, which is why when they came to the UK, there were posters and articles saying, welcome home to the West Indian people who were British, according to the British, because they needed West Indians to come and rebuild the country that you're saying we didn't help build. So they came to rebuild the country after World War II, right? After that was done, they remained in the country because they were under Britain, right? So the West Indian people that I come from throughout the Windrush generations, right? That's my direct lineage here, okay? The reason we are here is because of the invitation of the British asking for the help of the West Indian people to rebuild the country you said we didn't build. Number two, in reference to this whole you were racist towards white people, there is no example that you can provide. clearly, of me being racist towards white people, especially given the fact that I made a point. The example I gave was the fact that we went to a pub which is white owned, right? And we talked about our ethnic backgrounds because that's a normal part of conversation in Britain.
No, it's not.
And he loved our background so much that he made a point of making our cultural food because why? He remembers the Windrush and he knows what my community have contributed to this country, which is why he wanted to dedicate his cuisine to us that particular day as a white Englishman. Thirdly, me saying I don't care about what white people think of my ethnicity remains the truth. It still stands because I do not view my ethnicity through the eyes of someone that is deemed within these conversations and within this context to be racist. So no, I don't view my ethnicity through the eyes of someone who does not like my ethnic group.
So tell us why you don't want to go back to Jamaica. You forgot that. Answer that one.
Oh, wait, sorry, say that again?
Why don't you want to go back to Jamaica?
It is terrible trolling.
So hold on.
You forgot the question.
The reason that I have no intention. The reason I have no intention. Don't keep asking me the same question. I'm trying to answer.
Girl,
you.
hurry up.
The reason, don't keep doing this. Remember, you're here.
You answer everything with that one.
You're here because I'm letting you be here. I haven't dropped you.
Girl, I don't need to be in Britain. I don't need white people like you do.
That's why you're here.
I don't need white people like you do. I can live in my homeland.
Which one? Do you feel embarrassed? Is that what it is?
I can live in my homeland.
You feel embarrassed?
You're not going to answer that question. I guess you're not.
I just told you.
She's trolling, man.
Why? Why aren't you going back to Jamaica?
Why? I need people to see how stupid this guy is.
Why aren't you going back to Jamaica?
Have you read a book in your life?
Are you going back to Jamaica ever? Have you ever been there?
England, Jamaica, it's all the same thing.
Have you ever been there? Oh, you deflecting now. You ain't going to answer that one. You ain't going to answer that question.
Jamaica was an overseas
You ain't going to answer why you
territory.
can't go back. You look stupid. You built a white person's country, but you couldn't build your own country. You couldn't even build your own country in Jamaica. What? Jamaica is waiting to get built, and you ain't with your ass over there built shit over there.
How do you
Why
know that?
not? If
How
y'all
do you
can
know
build
that? Wait, no,
Europe
pause, let me talk,
I know y'all can build Jamaica up.
Let me talk.
But y'all don't
How
want
do you
to
know?
because
No,
y'all
shut
hate
your
your
mouth.
own country.
Shut
So
your
put
mouth.
them
Shut your
fair
mouth. Shut your mouth.
flags
Shut your
the
mouth.
fuck
Shut your mouth.
down.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Y'all will never
How
build
do you
your
know
own
that?
country.
How do you know
that's
that?
a man.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Y'all brag about
No,
building
how do you
somebody
shut your
else's
mouth? Do you want to
country. The countries that you cannot build yourself, yet you're talking shit.
Countries
Ain't
we
lifted
cannot
a
build
brick, ain't
ourselves.
cut nothing.
Do you know what?
cut
Do
a
you know
piece
what?
of
Do you know
wood,
what happened to our
ain't
country?
paved the road.
You know what happened to our
Ain't
country?
shit in your own
Mind you, the
country.
country
You
you're
brag
sitting
about
in.
building somebody else's
Look,
country.
see, just
You're
large and
bragging
round.
about building somebody else's
Large and
country,
round.
right? What does
Spreading
y'all look
herself
got to
out,
do with
legs
any damn
open,
thing? You don't want to address the fact that you can't go back to Jamaica. You'll do everything to a chance to avoid the fact that you cannot go back to Jamaica. You can't live there because you can't build
just
shit.
round and in charge.
You can't build
Just
shit, y'all.
round
This
and
is
in
her
charge.
deflecting. The
Just
fact that she
round
can't
and
wave
in
that
charge.
failed flag in
Just
her
round
own
and in
country.
charge.
She cannot wave it.
I'm giving you your
She can't wave that Jamaican flag nowhere else because if she was in Jamaica, she would be running for somewhere else.
Did you do this for free or were you getting paid?
Yeah, I just hate how y'all wave these failed
Did you
flags.
do this
Like,
for
what is
free
the
or were you
point
getting
of
paid?
waving
Did
flags
someone
of
pay you
failure?
to do
What is the
this?
point?
This is shameful.
What is the point of waving flags of failure?
Do you know what I would do? I would get some
What's
apple
the
cider
point of
vinegar
living
and
in
some
somebody
water for
else's
that
country if you don't
bloated
like
stomach.
it?
That's what I would do.
Go home.
That is
It's
what I
so
would
easy
do.
to
You look
just
like you
take your
fed.
black ass
You look like you
home
fed 3
instead of
orangutan
hating on the
babies.
white people in
You look
Britain.
like you are out there in the palm trees
Stop
in the Amazon
hating and go
rainforest.
build
eating
your
all
own
the
shit. You
babies
got
straight
a
from the
whole
tube.
landmass
Straight
that
from
you
the
can
tube.
build upon. Y'all don't even want y'all
Swinging them
country.
tits around.
I gave you a moment. Are you happy?
Don't
What
even
could I
want your
possibly
country.
hate on?
Don't even want your
What
little
could I
Jamaica.
possibly hate
Your
on?
You
Atlas
let
self,
somebody
bro.
take over Jamaica because
With
you
your
want them to
Atlas
do
self.
Just watch
You
that
are
now,
a piece
man.
of shit.
Just your
Stop
belly
waving that
watch it,
failed
folded
man.
flag.
over. Go iron
Please
that
just
shit,
watch it,
bro.
Cody.
Wrinkly as hell.
I've
Thank
upset
you,
everyone
thank you.
now because I had to hurt their eyes with your stomach that you can't tuck in. You're there winding up yourself
Thank
looking like
you.
a whole idiot.
Yeah, I might have to
On
report you for
camera,
that,
coming on
Cody.
here with no education whatsoever. Why are you in a country you didn't help build? Thank you, darling. Our people were asked to come here to help
Cody, what's wrong
rebuild
with
the
people?
country. So we built the country.
Do you think
Well, why
that
won't you go back to Jamaica? Why are you on camera winding up your waist, unable to read, uneducated, can barely speak properly, using colorist terminology, and looking like a whole dust bucket with tons and tons of filters on your face? Why?
She's talking about you can't build Jamaica. You didn't even build your country by choice. What are you talking about?
I could ask you why you felt comfortable going on camera with your belly hanging out of your batty riders like that.
For
I could ask
free.
you that.
For
I
free.
don't make a point of doing that.
Nobody forced her to do that.
You can stick around, darling. I'm not going to block you. I'm
No
going to
gun
let you
to her
stay
head.
here, okay?
Bringing it
I'm
around
going
for
to let you
free.
stay. I
Bringing it
apologize to
around for
everyone
free.
that had to see that and had to witness the disgusting imagery that came from her videos. But this is her. That's her. And I have to let you represent FBA to me. Here's the thing, Danny. Do you know how many people who are FBA that come through here supportive, understand because they can read and write and they're educated and they understand the context of what we're talking about here? And you came unable to just do anything but show your belly. You should have turned around instead. Your ass would have been better than that stomach.
No, she's just a trolling it.
No, but how are you gonna come on here trolling?
I think she likes the attention. No, she just rage. That was rage baiting. That was
here's the
rage
thing.
baiting.
No, but here's the thing.
The moment she said,
but for me, that's a really personal issue.
Everyone chill. Everyone stop. Look, here's the thing. You can't rage bait me looking a certain way. I've told you guys already. Like, fix up before you try this shit. Seriously. There's only so much, like, you need to be turned for it to work. Like, seriously.
I'm proud of you, Cody.
I'm just spinning that shit around.
No, Cody, I hate you.
Though. Do you feel good? I know you don't
Of course she felt good. She's obviously got a shame king.
Hold on. You guys in the chat who are FBA, I know. You don't have to tell me shit. I already know. That's why you guys are here and we talk every week. I know. Okay? So you don't have to worry. But if someone dusty tries it, like, I'm not, like, listen, don't tell me not to go low.
Defend yourself. We don't care.
It should go to her bills. That's where it should go.
I will go as low as her belly button and the side that was hanging over the boxes. I will go that low.
Can I finish what I want to say?
I think that to be a part of our... Let me just say this quickly. To be a part of the Caribbean, to be a part of West Indian culture, I think they also need to be able to learn certain things about our history. So things like, Windrush, the fact that we were invited, the West Indian Committee, the fact that we've been here since the 1700s. They also need to learn that that Jamaica was the first place fiber optic cables was activated. There's certain things that they need to learn, like the 5 pillars of Islam, the way that people construct their religions before they can actually, be a part of wanting to promote Caribbean culture, to be a part of our culture, our religion, or whatever you want to call it, because it's clearly...
we don't even know... No, we don't know, because remember... No, but remember, like, this, you have to know who you're dealing with. Like, they're dumb. That's why.
Wait, everyone stop. Wait. It's gonna be Daniel's turn anyway. Queen, my darling, I have already addressed you. If you're a fan, that's fine, but there's a certain point where it becomes inappropriate and it feels like stalking. So I'm gonna block you now. I can recommend. Hold on. I can recommend. Chill. No, she's an idiot. She doesn't know that we weren't immigrants. She doesn't know that because she's stupid. But I can recommend home workout videos. They are so good. You don't have to walk far. You can just start with doing like little exercises, sit-ups, and do like natural green juices. It will help with that situation you've got going on that you thought you could put on camera. Okay, Daniel, it's your turn now. Go ahead. What's your ethnic background and where you're based?
I am a foundation. How you doing? Hey, I am a foundational Black American, and I am based in Michigan currently. I grew up in Arkansas. My roots go back to Mississippi into the 1700s. And I was just telling you what this was. Last time we spoke, we were talking about COINTELPRO.
I know. You told me.
This is what they do. Listen,
Daniel, but it was too easy.
I understand. But you got to start charging them for that type of trolling. Listen, they are paid operatives. Make them pay. So if they want a mic on your stage, if they in the comments chirping, mute them and give them a bail price, right? So the price of bail is a galaxy. If you want to be unmuted to talk your shit, call up this galaxy, right? You said she's FBA. Listen, I'll explain it like this, right? Because the guy, they keep saying she's FBA in the comment section. Maybe. I'll explain it like this, right? If you have a person... If you have a person, but see, this is when people regurgitate talking points to attack people rather than educate themselves. So if you actually understood what the Windrush was, you'd understand that's not immigration. after the Second World War, see, I think people don't really read. If you actually read about this, the German chancellor, I don't want to say his name, he really hated Britain. Not because he hated Britain, he actually loved Britain. He wanted to unite with Britain. So when the armed forces that was fighting him first were the French and the British. After the French got canceled, they targeted the British exclusively with the night bombings, right? See, if you actually know what Winston Churchill and his people did, especially on the south end of Jamaica, and that's not the conversation today. The point is, Britain was bombarded heavily by the Germans at this time. So a lot of their men were unalived. We're talking in the millions. A lot of the infrastructure was destroyed, and they needed to rebuild. They really didn't have the manpower, which is the reason why, if you look at Berlin, France and Britain both pulled out of Berlin and gave their ends to America. That's when the Berlin Wall came up. So the reason why the American portion of Germany was bigger than the Russian portion was because the French and the British pulled out in order to rebuild their country because they didn't have the money to maintain it. Now, if they didn't have the money to maintain it, they didn't have the manpower, what did they do? They looked to the Caribbean of people who were asking for work and jobs. So they went over there and said, hey, look, come over here. We'll provide you this, this, and this. It's like the company town in America. Like in America, places like Flint, Chicago, Cleveland, they have really neighborhoods that are really tightly knit because they were company towns. One of the selling points was, hey, you bring your people over and work for us. We'll give you school and a fair wage to do this, right? That's a selling point for anybody. So they were welcomed with open arms. That is not the same as a Mexican hopping the border in America, waving the Mexican flag and say, hey, you can go back home and build that up. That talking point does not work for the Windrush generation of Britain. But if they actually educate themselves, they would know that. This is not even something I waste my time on. So again, you have these people, like I said, who don't actually research to understand why it is we do what we do. And I'm including you in that too, because at the end of the day, and just another response to something that they was said earlier, and I'll get back to my other point, you don't need anybody's permission to self-identify. So even if all the white tea people in Britain was like, we can't tell the difference. Well, you know the difference as a human, as a completely self-sentient being, you understand what and who you are. You don't need anybody's permission to tell you what you are. I am from Michigan. I grew up in Arkansas. I like the Razorbacks and I like the Spartans. Those are two college football teams. Can't nobody tell me I can't wear a Michigan State hoodie. My birth certificate says that. My high school diploma says this. I know exactly who and what I am, right? I don't need anybody's permission. Just like our Jamaican brothers and sisters in the UK don't need anybody's permission to tell them what they are. So when I hear these Africans, because they'll do it to us too. They'll tell us, well, the white man is, listen, they'll say, what if a white cop stopped you? Well, luckily for me and my self-esteem and my confidence, a white cop's mischaracterization of me doesn't define who I am, because we have a saying in America, all our grandmas used to tell us this, it ain't what they call you, what you answer to. So you can call me whatever the fuck you want. I'm not gonna answer to anything else.
You're not self-hating, that's self-love. That's what that is. That's what that is. Sorry,
but I also want to, no, you good. I also want to tell you what you're dealing with right now. So this is a powerful conversation. And anytime you have a conversation that could, fuck with the church's money, as we like to say in America, you're going to have agent provocateurs that come in and come in, right? So they're going to talk about this. What that was her taking conversations she's heard we have with adversarial people. So there'll be and again, I want to be clear on this. The Windrush generation, or people who stem from that, are not the same as the immigrants you see coming to America. So you have a, let's say Uncle Luke, he's a Bohemian, right? You have somebody come over and tell us X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, hold on. In 1964, we got civil rights. After that, we went to the government in 65 and said, hey, you guys have to open up immigration because it's prejudice. And it was like, all right, fuck it. They opened it up, right? So then those people from that generation, like a Byron Donalds who come from Panamanian Jamaica, he'll come over and say, we don't deserve reparations. Now he's actively pushing against our interests. So then the response is, if we do things to help you out, why are you in our business like that, right? That talking point there works for him. Yeah. Does not work for Jamaicans in Britain, because
There
are huge posters where they were invited.
A West Indian background in the UK, not for anyone. Anyone who's Trinidadian, Grenadian, Jamaican, someone who's Guyanese, anyone who's Catition, St. Lucian, anyone that came during the Windrush, no, it doesn't apply. Just doesn't.
Yeah, but see, again, you would have to. A lot of people don't know what they don't know. So when they come over and they say this shit, and again, the way I broke it down to the lady on the last stream who asked me these questions was, if you got two people from Texas, right? You have Democrats in Texas, you have Republicans in Texas, right? They may vehemently disagree on policy, but they're both still Texan, right? One can be absolutely right, one can be absolutely wrong, but it doesn't change the fact that they're Texan. As to say that not all Texans think the same. So, hey, you might be a Texan person, you might like California food, you might like island food, whatever, but you still a Texan, right? The other person may like strictly American food, but he's still a Texan. So even though her lineage is foundational Black American, A, she don't speak for the rest of us, and then B, regardless, you're not a motherfucker that should be speaking for everybody. So that's why, like you said, there are people who actually read and understand what they're talking about will come onto the panels and correct it. That's why I was trying to ask her, wait, where are you from? Because apparently you have not done the research to have this conversation.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you ask the question. I was too busy listening to her and seeing the jelly, and I was focused on the wobble wobbles. So then that's what I was just honed in on that, and then I couldn't hear anything outside of that. So I got distracted. There was a lot there. Can't lie.
Yeah, but I really want you to look up the code. Did you look the COINTELPRO thing?
Is that the CIA thing?
Yeah. Well, FBI, CIA.
Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. I still have that open, by the way.
Cool.
I just haven't had the chance to look at
So
that.
while she's looking that up, for the people that are a bit slow, right? So the equivalent of the Caribbean or the people that came over during the Windrush that were part of the Commonwealth, they had British passports, yeah. The Caribbean or a lot of the West Indian islands were essentially overseas territories, yeah. Similar to how Puerto Ricans don't need a separate passport to come to the US or whatnot. They are actually American, and they're not the same as immigrants from like Asia or Africa. They're not
technically
they're not the same as
so they can come
Asia.
over.
Yeah, that was because of war.
That's my point. That's my point, though.
Yeah, the Puerto Ricans, they got their citizenship through war. That's what they needed manpower.
Oh, yeah, you can't say that W word. That's you get the live flag.
Yeah, that was through war. Yeah, same thing again. Once again, through war.
But agree. It's similar, but it's like a protectorate. But the at that time, the UK had all these little territories in the Caribbean, and they were considered an extension of the UK, which is why most of them didn't get their independence until the 60s. So up until that point, they were born UK citizen. I'm gonna say U.S. citizen. Just real quick. Let me just say this real quick, and I promise I'm gonna go back to that. Just real quick to
go ahead, Daniel. You can finish up, and I'll let him.
Just to finish up real quick. I promise I'll get out your way. But no, the reason why I was telling you about COINTELPRO is because, again, the more you start to have these powerful conversations, the more they try to throw you off. You just spent 20 minutes going back and forth with a slug, right? And it's like, okay, well, this was a waste of time. You said what now?
I found it fun.
It starts that way until you're trying to have a serious conversation. But look, right? But I just
I always told you.
Just to be real quick on the.
Daniel, the thing is, yeah, you have to allow me because I've been here since last night. So because
I was about to ask you how long have you been on?
Oh, I came. So I've now. Sorry, my lamp's in the way. I have officially now done. Oh, in 15 minutes, I will have done 12 hours. I've been here.
Oh, you thugging hard. I only do 2 hours.
So sometimes, especially when someone's trying me, I just have to. You get me?
Okay, I got you.
I've entertained.
Oh, it's all good.
It was so easy as well. Like, come on. I thought.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow. See, I only do 2 hours when I go live, but I'll just read this real quick and I'll be done. So the COINTELPRO was the FBI. Yeah, for real. It says the FBI designed the program to surveil, infiltrate, discredit, disrupt, and neutralize domestic political groups and individuals the Bureau viewed as subversive or threatening to national security. It started with the Communist Party. U.S. quickly expanded a wide range of organizations across. So basically what they would do is they will come in, right? One of the tactics. So they'll start spreading rumors and anonymous letters to sow distrust. That's another thing, to break up marriages, alliances, or damage reputations, right? This is the one that they're doing to you right now. Harassments, slight harassments, right? Whenever the conversation is going, they harass, right? And then they disrupt, misdirect, discredit. So that's the game plan. So when you're talking about this, they're going to disrupt it, discredit, and redirect it. So their point is to redirect you off of any conversation that is productive. So they'll come in and they'll say, man, y'all just copying all FBA talking points. Like, wait, what? No, anybody who's So the thing is, anybody who is self-identifying and refusing assimilation is going to sound the same. Hey, we're not you, we're us. That's not an insult. That is a statement of fact. Like this Pan-African lady, she does this thing where she talks about how FBA is complaining about X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, it's not a complaining. It's a valid observation. Because when you say, hey, I'm not you, I'm me. That's not an insult. That is a statement of fact, because we both have two different flags. We have two different cultures. And then when you give examples of the cultures being different to the people they respect, see, they respect the YT people. And when you say, well, look, even YT people have shown us that they understand the difference. Here's example A, B, and C. Then all of a sudden it's, oh, you're searching for YT approval. And it's like, no, I'm giving you an example that even your point. But see, again, we understand that. They understand that. They can't acknowledge that because they're not here to have a conversation or clear up confusion. They're here to cause confusion. That's why when she came onto the panel, I asked her, I said, where are you from? She wouldn't answer, because a lot of these people, they're faceless on their faces on Twitter. They're faceless on TikTok, and they'll hold FBA conversations, but they won't show their face. They'll post somebody else's video.
She had a bag of videos of her. I just picked the right one.
See, that's what I'm saying. I really think. See, I don't think that's. I think that's a catfish account.
I said she was a troll from the jump.
I think that's a catfish account.
Yeah,
see,
but I didn't
what they'll do in America is.
It was funny. I'm not being funny. Like
there's
so much representation.
There are a lot of men who want to be women in America, and they'll grab a lady's videos and then they'll just post it as them. Like it's like a Finsta account, right? So I thought that was a man.
Whether or not she is or not, whether or not she is or not, I just don't think we should just give them airtime either way. That's it. So it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
No, Cody. I understand for your entertainment.
I told you.
No, I understand for your entertainment why you do certain things.
Like respectfully, like no one.
But after a certain point, it's not.
The bigger person. Funny. I'm not gonna ever.
Yeah, after a certain point, it's not funny though.
Like, it's not funny.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna tell you to. Look. Cody, I would never tell you to be the bigger person that somebody insults you. I'm always say you to fight back.
You guys
he said, "Daddy, you up there lying."
We have come from the
watch this, Cody. I'm gonna show you how they be doing it right here. Hey, Chief Tether, what did I lie about?
Listen, hold on, wait, chill. Listen. Listen. To say to me, oh, nah, it's not funny, this and the third. I'm going to tell you why it was and why I found it funny, which is why I did it. And I'm going to stand by what I did. Because if you come for me, I will match your energy. Now, granted, you guys know that every week there are trolls. I do not give every single troll airtime. You know this about me by now. When I give a troll airtime, it's for a specific reason, to prove a specific point. I've told you guys this isn't new. I do this every week, okay? And when I let someone speak, it's to prove a specific point. And that point was proven because she was stupid. And it helped. The giggles, that all went with it. It was an amazing, beautiful part of the package that I got enjoyment from exposing, okay? So I enjoyed it and I don't regret it, okay? I'm not the bigger person. I don't believe in being the bigger person, because when I have to go to bed later on tonight now, I know I can sleep peacefully knowing that woman got humiliated. Had I not done that, I'd be pissed. And I'll be sitting there like, I should have said this. I should have said that. That's how I would have felt. But no, I got it off. And Miss Jiggle Pants, has now got to sit there and deal with the fact that Miss Jiggles was on screen and I gave her time, okay? I'm satisfied. No one can make me feel unsatisfied. To say it's not a joke, jokes have to be made while we do these lives because it's so flipping serious all the time. And granted, it needs to be, but sometimes I need to get off what I want to get off. Hence why last week, no one had a problem with me showing that picture. We all laughed. Everyone was laughing. Jokes, isn't it? Funny. It was funny. It was funny. Now, the nature of what we were talking about when I showed the picture was serious, wasn't it? But we laughed because it was funny. So I will take my bits of joy when I want, okay? I understand that overall this is a serious thing. That's why I sit here for as long as I do every weekend, because I know it's serious. That's why I say, please reciprocate the love. I'm sitting here for 15 hours. I don't do it for no reason. But if an opportunity shows itself where I can get joke and laugh about
Take
something
it.
when I come up live, I'm taking it.
I respect it.